The year is 2014. You yearn to be a quirked up, insert race here girl. Goaded with the sauce, you look upon the wretched clothes in your dirty hamper. No style, no drip, swaggerless. You want to be aesthetic and wear cute fits, but everyone in your family is decked out in this year's Sears catalog. You need to consult experts, fashion and style icons, not people who only buy shoes from Payless after running back and forth in them to make sure they're comfortable. This is a working class humiliation ritual. The great and checkered halls of YouTube are your first glimpse into people who have a look. Not particularly unique ones, but who cares? You begin to experiment. Blair Waldorf core. Maybe a more alternative. You have a Tumblr with an Arctic monkey's design motif. I know you had an item of clothing with these square bead monstrosities. You will pay for your fashion sins. Who am I kidding? I thought they were cute too. Perhaps you're into hipster twee and it's your greatest shame. Once you get older, you'll realize that what you should have been ashamed of at that age was penning One Direction fanfic. Talking about Harry's green orbs. But for the first time, you feel like you can express yourself. As corny as it sounds, that little beret or choker just adds a little pep in your step. Oh, this slice of adolescence sure is delicious. We're back with another fresh batch of nostalgia cookies. Open wide. That's a command, not a request. If you were like me and you had your young brain molded and rotted by the internet, especially the beauty and lifestyle community, then you must have at one point in the past few years wondered, I wonder whatever happened to that YouTuber whose advice I would listen to more than my actual family members. Well, I'm about to tell you. Now, I've already created multiple other volumes to this series, but let me know down below what YouTubers you used to watch in your adolescence. I might have already covered them, or I might cover them in the future. Mama needs that engagement because I am single-handedly raising an emergency fund for a little Guatemalan orphan who needs an emergency BBL. We are Manuela's last hope to be snatched. Don't laugh, it's not funny. I used to devour this flavor of video back in the day when I was a crusty little kid, but now I'm an adult with some disposable income, which is convenient because I just discovered that shoplifting is apparently illegal. I wanted to recreate some of these 2010's fashion styles, especially the more preppy-ish look. Think FreddyMyLove's aesthetic. I want to look bougie, vaguely foreign, like I have an offshore banking account, the classics. And I barely have any clothes in my sad closet. In the arms of the angels, fly away with me. And that's because I go shopping once every leap year. I'm not even joking when I say that. But having such little shopping experience, I did not know where to get started. That's when Gensmo comes in with their customized mood boards and seamless integrated shopping experience. I can just type in 2010's preppy aesthetic, skirts, little hats, loafers. I'm trying to look like a black Nancy Drew. And bam, the app gives me a bunch of suggestions. Everything is linked directly, prices included. I filter by price so that the looks are more affordable. Heck, I can experiment around with the more modern NYC fashionista looks that YouTubers like My Life as Ava have gravitated towards. I want to look like I'm about that shmoney and dating a chiseled guy that will get investigated by the FTC. I upload a selfie, make sure it's with good lighting, makeup and hair, because I want my outfit curation to look its best. And then I can try on the clothes prior to making a purchase. I created 2 separate outfits incorporating these newer, cute, but basic pieces into existing outfits that I already owned. Just by experimenting with different fabrics or patterns, or by wearing affordable accessories that I normally wouldn't have even considered trying. But I decided to take Gensmo's tip. Just look at the difference in how these small things elevated my style. I look like I'm about to pop lock and drop it in a Disney Channel original movie. And I was able to incorporate these pieces in multiple different outfits. Cause even if I'm only spending like 10 to 20 bucks on clothing, I am going to make use of that baby, okay? It's like a personal shopping assistant, but minus the awkward interactions and weird touching. I know the 2010's girlies would have loved this platform. It's like a modern day version of that outfit machine that Cher had in Clueless. So try Gensmo and elevate your style. Let me know what kind of mood boards you would love to create. Like I said before, I am a sucker for anything preppy or newsy-esque these days. I don't care if you think that's unoriginal. Shut up. If being basic is a crime, lock me up. Okay, that's enough cringy Gen Z humor. But let me know your tastes in the comments down below. Okay, first up, we have an interesting YouTuber whose story went places I could have never imagined. Strap in. Venus Angelic, aka Venus Isabel Palermo. This Swiss-born living doll uploaded her first YouTube video on June 6th of 2010. It was a cutesy dance video. She's ooh-wooing around in a little European kitchen that looks like it was constructed exclusively for a Polish grandmother to make little pierogies in. The title roughly translates to Venus 13-year-old my mime. Okay, 13, huh? Oh dear. Her second upload was a Misa Amene cosplay. I knew there'd be a Death Note reference. I could smell it. Her early videos were very weebish. Like she was pop-locking and dropping anime style, learning Japanese, chefing it up, nibbling on little candies like an adorable rodent. New videos every Wednesday and Friday at Japan time, 9 p.m. Some of these videos honestly feel like watching the last known footage of someone before they go missing. Early on, she would upload very short videos with thumbnails that were oddly haunting, to the point where I actually did a 180 and now I kind of like them. Her first foray into Japanese/anime/doll look tutorials was this Japanese eye tutorial. Some of her other beauty and makeup related videos were more general, but it was specifically her Japanese makeup tutorials that got her channel the most traction. Dang it, comments disabled. She would also dabble in nail tutorials. Neon cat. Gosh, I'm getting war flashbacks. I'm gonna eat its body. Venus really leaned into the Lolita style, which, I mean, look, if you like pink, cutesy articles of clothing and accessories, that's obviously fine. However, the individuals that don this style and then adopt childish mannerisms in a way that sometimes is weirdly sensual have drawn criticism for playing into a taboo fantasy. The style even being described as Lolita is contentious enough for obvious reasons. Now, Venus, again, was a kid, and her mother was her manager. So when I see weird clickbaity thumbnails like this, and weird videos where she's like, oh my gosh, I laid an egg. Scandalous and sticky. Okay, this has the subtlety of a Banksy piece. Some of these clips look like stuff you'd find on the dark web. Ma'am, I'm about to call Child Protective Services, or whatever the Swiss equivalent is. From 2010 to 2012, Venus leaned into the anime cosplay / white weeb niche.
I'm an otaku, which is another word for anime freak.
But she would slowly start to branch out. How to look like a boy. This is the from Meet the Robinsons. 2012 was her breakout year. She posted her smash hit video, How to Look Like a Doll. She'd been learning Japanese for 2 years at this point. She doesn't sound that bad.
日本のプリクラはすごく楽しくて可愛いと思います。けれど今までプリクラはあんまり作りなかった。
Do any of you speak Japanese? If so, is she good? She was, however, not living in Japan at this time. Oh, the xenophobia of the Japanese immigration department.
おめでとうございます。名誉日本人の称号を授与されます。国外追放、ここから出ていけ。スイスの赤ちゃん。
She was making media appearances at this time, and boy, was she fairly controversial. There were people who felt odd and looked unfavorably at her, going beyond just standard enjoyment of certain aspects of Japanese culture, and even just sort of generic weebish behavior, which is, I mean, not that uncommon online, but she kind of surpassed that tolerable weeb threshold, with certain people not liking that she was almost presenting herself as being Japanese and really heavily leaning into certain stereotypes. And considering the history of East Asian women in particular being hyper combined with, let's just say, some of the more ish elements that people within this aesthetic community sometimes leaned into, there were individuals that were very uncomfortable with this. But a lot of people just thought that this living doll aesthetic was odd. So she got a lot of just standard, classic OG internet hate that wasn't particularly deep or constructive. Now, once again, she was a kid. Like, I don't know, I'm not comfortable really dragging a 13-year-old for doing stuff that's cringy. Plus, I'm pretty sure her mom looked at how well the How to Look Like a Korean Girl video videos did compared to like the Russian doll tutorials, and probably thought, yeah, I don't care. This is the odd niche that's worth leaning into. By 2014 to 2015, she was living in London. She was featured in an episode of My Strange Addiction, which is arguably one of the greatest honors, at least in American culture, besides being featured on Cops. Venus recounts attending a Thai temple and they were holding a beauty pageant. She entered, and at age 9, she won. I'm not gonna lie, she looks like the first lady of Thailand. People were like, oh my gosh, you look just like a doll with the small lips and the big eyes. And then eventually she discovered Japanese doll makeup. Her mother, Margaret, is introduced with henna tattoos and little magenta dreadlocks, crouching like a spider, trying to get them angles of her daughter dressed as a doll. This timeline is weird. Now, she is really hands-on when it comes to their content. Venus admits that the job is a lot of pressure, but that she pushes through it. That is exactly what you want to hear from a child laborer. Her mom is like, well, this doesn't pay all the bills yet. Okay. From 2010 to 2017, her content didn't change much. She'd include more noodle videos, I guess, but she mostly stayed within her lane. She even did a slime video. Dang. They got you too, girl. Now, regarding the odd drama involved in this YouTuber story, the channel Prime Inc. made a video that describes the background drama more extensively, but I'm gonna give y'all as concise of a summary as I can. So basically, there are other YouTubers in the Lolita/Japanese/living doll community who would have, let's just say, negative interactions with Venus, and everything started out very cordial, with one of them even defending Venus on Twitter. Venus would even collab with some of them. They'd share Pocky sticks or whatever they would do to bond. But then all of a sudden things would get very hostile. They'd begin receiving hate online. Some of these spam hate accounts would eventually get linked to Venus and her mother Margaret. But then eventually these two would just start openly talking crazy about these other YouTubers on their respective social media platforms. Margaret in particular was talking about how, oh, y'all are trying to steal my daughter's look, get a job, the police are investigating. Now, some viewers interpreted these actions as the mother and daughter duo trying to basically take out their competition. By 2015, the now 19-year-old Venus was living in South Korea. She had a little Japanese boo by the name of Manakai. My apologies if I'm mispronouncing his name. Now, he would get featured occasionally in her videos, but then he just disappeared. And people started asking questions. Eventually, Venus and her mama start talking mad crap about this guy. They're saying that Manakai is a that he's a broke factory worker. But then Venus randomly makes a post where she goes, oh yeah, we're actually still together. Yeah, and we're also getting married. Okay, bye. What the heck is happening? Now, the two do eventually get married via mail, though, because Emo Boy is still back in Japan. But that marriage was technically considered invalid because the paperwork wasn't right. And Venus is like, yeah, I was too young. It wasn't the right move. But then eventually they do get married. Then all of the posts that Venus is making with her, no, I can't call him a chiga because he's Japanese, not Chinese. Her jigga. All of the posts with him, they get deleted. Venus reveals she's not the one deleting the posts. Her mama is. Margaret will even sometimes post pretending to be Venus from her social media platforms. People even find posts where Margaret is dressed up in the same exact outfits as Venus. This is just giving off stage parent living vicariously through their child. Margaret goes on a full-on offensive. She's making posts about how Manakai is a psycho. He brainwashed Venus into running away with him. Actually, she's cheating on him. Then she goes after Venus, talking about how, she has an ED. She has Asperger's. She broke her puppy's leg. She killed her hamster. She tried to bite my finger off. She's not my daughter anymore. And then this woman's like, I'm gonna jump into a river and end it all. Who are you, Ophelia? Venus then uploads a video onto her channel, which I think might be deleted by now, where she alleges that her mom was forcing her to do a lot of things that she was uncomfortable with, especially for content. And when she said no, her mom would threaten to unalive herself. Allegedly. I feel like Wendy Williams. Venus then alleges Margaret of using, a lot of her YouTube money and even throwing a knife at her. She confirmed fans' suspicions that her mom was pretending to be her and posting on her social media platforms. Of course, her mom made a response video denying everything. I think at this point their contacts were severed. Now, Margaret would occasionally post about Venus. Eventually, Venus and Manakai broke up, but I'm not sure if they're officially divorced. His absence from Venus's content had Margaret Margaret accusing her own daughter of unaliving her man. From 2018 to 2022, Venus would start posting videos that were actually in her real voice. She wasn't in costume all of the time. She would get a lot more personal, opening up about her issues with alcoholism, which was her coping mechanism, basically. Her struggles with depression and an ED. This 2019 video in particular is really when you start to see her speaking in not only her normal voice, but also doing away with a lot of the very childish mannerisms, which I think goes beyond any sort of appropriation of like cutesy anime characteristics. I think they were just full-blown trauma responses, in my opinion.
I have grown up. I mean, it's okay to like cute things, to like fleshed animals, but I feel like I tried to replace the childhood I missed.
She opens up about starting to process her traumatic childhood, going to therapy, just forcing herself to interact with other people, etc. Venus claims that even back in her living doll days, she was being her authentic self, but now she's still being herself, she's just grown, and I guess she doesn't feel the need to don the entire costume. Her channel became this bizarre mix of cutesy videos juxtaposed with trauma dumps, like her near-death experience from an unnecessary weight loss surgery. Oh dear. In 2020, she revealed that she had created an OF, and a lot of people did not feel like this was the healthiest option for someone who experienced as a child. She started leaning into more sensual content, and a lot of viewers were like, dang, I missed a few chapters, huh? In 2022, she seemed to have relapsed because she was on live calling Manakai a bum. And some people pointed out that, you know, he allegedly did meet her when she was still a minor and he was a fan, so maybe the foundation of their relationship was not that sturdy. She got asked during this live if she was a lady of the night, let's just say, and she goes, no, I can't be one. I'm a Christian. Girl, wait a minute, aren't you on OF? After she was released from a psych ward, she seemed to have relapsed again in 2023. In March of that same year was when she uploaded her most recent video to her YouTube channel. Looking at her Instagram in 2024, she seems to still be going through it. As of April, she claims that she was living in an internet cafe, even changing her profile pic to an image of her mother when she was drunk and then changing it back and then apologizing after. It seems that there are some people who are just getting frustrated with her going back and forth, relapsing, then asking her fans for money, and then just using that money to continue self-destructing. And there are other fans that are a lot more supportive, reminding her that relapsing is usually an unfortunate part of recovery. Some former fans are alleging that Venus cheated on her man, even joining sugar baby websites. Then she left Manakai, got into an relationship with a married man named Ken. Some even allege that one of her exes was SAing his own child, but that she didn't immediately break up with him, saying that she'd post a lot of stuff like this during what is seemingly one of her mental breakdowns, and then she would just delete everything after. Again, there aren't any screenshots, so take all of these allegations with a grain of salt. Her mother's Instagram, however, is a trip. Margaret marries this man named Cody. They met after he chatted her up in a laundromat in Switzerland or something. In 2022, she posted this in marital bliss. I pull out. Ew. Mind you, the weapons in this did not shock me because the Swiss stay strapped. Don't let those little quaint villages fool you. When she occasionally posts about Venus, the comments are all over the place. It's either, you're sick, this is disgusting what you did to that girl, etc. Or, well, at least when Venus was with you, she wasn't a homeless hooker. Margaret then drops this doozy of a post accusing Cody of being a weirdo, that his family is cooking up on Indian reservations. Oh, and he has an ex-wife that pretended to be dead for 2 years, that he admitted to essentially her out for 2 years while she was tweaking. He also allegedly had a baby mama who had to raise that kid all on her own, but then that woman eventually went MIA. Cody was allegedly threatening to dissolve Margaret's body in acid. Also, this is a racist incel. She got him on tape. He also tried to unalive another guy when he was a teenager. Yeah, he never even loved her. He just needed someone to take care of him and his mama. So yeah, they're no longer together, thankfully. In February February of 2025, Margaret made a post hinting at Venus moving back to Switzerland. During March of 2025, Margaret made a post about a GoFundMe for her daughter's YouTube legacy. In the post, she again refutes the claims that she was ever. She claims that Venus begged her to make her famous, and that's exactly what she did. She made her famous. Now, look, there might have been more stuff that happened behind the scenes, especially as Venus started to get older and clearly gravitate towards substances, but look, I wanted to be Hannah Montana when I was a child, okay? And do you know what my parents did when I told them about this little dream? That's right, they continued to ignore me. That's what a normal parent does. They don't indulge their child in ridiculous fantasies. Especially when it includes posting weird stuff like this. Something tells me this was not Venus's idea. There haven't been that many updates on Venus as of the writing of this script, but I hope that she manages to heal. I hope that she is at the very least doing okay. I hope that she's able to get sober, but yeah, my heart goes out to her. LaurDIY, aka Lauren Riihimaki. She created her channel in 2011, but the first video that you can actually see up on her channel was uploaded on April 14th, 2013, while attending university in Toronto. Canadian, huh? How exotic.
You have money and you left your mom's there? Yo, you're sick to my stomach, fam.
She started a DIY website making room decor and realized that she could just record the tutorials instead of writing them out. And her YouTube was born. She was dating her BF, Sebastian, aka Baz at the time. She sometimes would call her fans pretty little lures. The next video on her channel is from 2015. She really did a cleanse. Years later, she revealed that she just found a lot of her older videos very cringy. She says she hated the clickbait face and the acting childish. She just doesn't align with her older videos. There was just something about the quirky costumes of this era. The Starbucks, hashtag panda twerk. Many suburban cheeks were shaken that decade. Did not expect the fully copyrighted music, however. Becky G's shower. She definitely has one of my favorite tooth gaps in the industry. I love when celebs keep their original teeth. It makes their bodies easier to identify. Lauren's DIYs were cute, but feasible. You know, like I can understand why she was very popular. She graduated from Ryerson University in 2015. Her channel at this time was still very DIY heavy, but she would start doing general outfit inspo, getting little tats. In 2015, she broke up with Baz and began dating Alex Burris. He was of Wasabi Productions fame. Y'all remember them? That's a throwback. So much mediocre cross-dressing. The other half of the channel was Roy Fabito, who went on to create Guava Juice, a channel whose thumbnails have an odd intensity to them. Did this man have a gun to his head while taking these thumbnail photos? Something about the facial distortion. This channel looks like a bad DMT trip. Alex and Lauren were one of YouTube's power couples, you know? In 2016, she moved to LA. Kind of. I mean, it was like part-time, mostly for work. Look at those stuffed seals. I know they were fun to punch. I've beaten my stuffed animals into submission. They've just accepted that this is their fate now. Isn't that right? Lauren participated in the Roast Yourself Challenge, which I thought was gonna be Tibetan monk style. Now that's a protest. In 2017, she won a Streamy for Lifestyle Creator. 2017 to 2019, she diversified her content a bit, continuing to poke fun at herself with her DIY Queen parody rap. Man, amateur rap was big back then, huh? I can't even say anything. She was doing hauls and trendy outfit inspos. Her and Alex would make these cute little couple videos, like the popular parody song Taking My Baby. She began uploading vlogs on Wednesdays, inspired by the vlogging pioneer and sunglass mannequin Casey Neistat. Then on Sundays, she would post standard DIYs. She'd get a little bit more personal, talking about her struggles with acne, adopting a little puppy with her boo. They named him Osama. Just kidding. That's my dog name, don't steal it. By 2018, she moved into her dream house. Imagine being able to afford a full-size home at 24. I'm happy for her. That same year, her and Alex broke up after 3 years of dating, but it seemed amicable. Deji, some, I don't know, semi-famous internet person, mocked their breakup video, and just the concept of YouTube breakups generally, which, admittedly, it is an odd subgenre of content. You think they pose for the thumbnail, or did they just take a screenshot? Alex was about to throw hands with this man. Lauren chimed in with a Keep my name out of your mouth. Lauren's content 2019 to 2022 would diversify even more, recreating pre-cancellation James Charles's makeup, giving her mama a makeover. Instagram followers control my life for a day. They made me kill a homeless man. Skinny Josh Peck, what are you doing here? I know that he's been skinny for at this point longer than he was fat, but I still always call him Skinny Josh Peck. Lauren is about that business. She created multiple LaurDIY products, including apparel, sleepwear, DIY crafting kits, house arrest ankle bracelets, bedazzled Narcan, mannequins that look conspicuously similar to your exes. She doesn't ask questions. This was around the era that you really see a reduction in her standard old school DIY kind of content. Even when she was doing DIY, they were more adult, like recreating YouTuber merch as opposed to Disney-inspired Halloween costumes. I am surprised that David Dobrik did not take her out sniper style. Stop messing with my money, Lauren. In late 2019, she opened up about her mental health struggles with anxiety and PTSD. She revealed that someone close to her would have seizures in front of her. Not on purpose, like it wasn't on command. Lauren then began experiencing pretty bad panic attacks, but she's been in therapy for years now. In 2019, she went public with Jeremy. I don't know why I said it like that. He's not French. They'd been dating for about 6 months at this point. Lauren says that during her relationship with Alex, she constantly felt like she wasn't good enough, so she was way less public about this relationship. The videos on her channel with Alex got scrubbed. She competed in the Challenger Games, getting jacked. Heck yeah. She would still occasionally make DIY, but they were a little bit more grown. Maddie from Euphoria outfits. In 2020, Lauren and Jeremy started the podcast Wild Till 9.
I never cheat.
Please.
In my dreams?
Please.
In how often are you cheating in
Please.
your dreams?
Celibate Sally.
The podcast is still going strong and evolving. Sometimes they'll get real personal or have random experts on. Are men icky? Yes. Caught her cheating. Should I tell his wife? Yes, you should, but in the form of an interpretive dance. That same year, she started her vlog channel. Quarantine fever had many victims. The vlog channel is more intimate, but 2020 onwards, her uploads on her main channel became a little less consistent. But the vibes felt more mature, you know? She seemed more comfortable being herself and making videos that she just wanted to make. Truth or Drink with her mom and her besties, the Asian Girl Squad. This one was hella juicy. Liquor really is a truth serum. In 2021, Lauren was the host and executive producer of Craftopia, a Daytime Emmy nominee. It's the better Emmy, really. I think I might have a Daytime Emmy nomination. Lauren revealed that she got this gig because one of the Warner exec's 16-year-old daughter basically pitched her to be the host of the show. Teenage girls are good allies to have. She's also began to invest in several different startups like Kinship, Community, and Lolly. And I'm not talking about like a few $1,000s here or there. Her investments are around $25,000 to $50,000. 2022 onward, she would try out TikTok trends and YouTuber products because those creators had reached the scam business stage of their careers. Lauren was like, well, I'm grown now. I'm doing tipsy girl talk. Queefing. She got even more tats. She's still kicking it with the Asian Girl Squad. They would even react to their old deleted collab videos. In 2023, she got engaged, and in 2024, her and Jeremy got married. She's opened up about wanting to start a family on her vlog channel, where she still posts consistently. That baby's gonna come out with a little pair of scissors in its hands. That's gonna hurt. She makes really cozy content. You know she's gonna be like a fun, cute mom. Making cookies, popping pills.
A shout out to everybody with social anxiety. I kind of feel sorry for you. Oh, yeah.
She posts on her Instagram and TikTok, but more so on her YouTube. Oh wow, Beyonce looks different. She's DIYing her home. It's a constant project, I tell you. She has 2 doggies, Moose and Diggy. She seems to be doing well, so good luck to her on growing her family. MissGlamorazi, aka Ingrid Nilsen. She uploaded her first YouTube video on November 8th of 2009. She's such a little cutie, like a bunny rabbit. Her videos are so relaxing. They're like unintentional ASMR. Using the foundation to clean up the lip line. I know back in the day the girls were shaking when they found out that was an option. Ingrid claims that she accidentally stumbled upon YouTube after getting tired of magazines offering offering her advice that didn't work or weren't in her budget. She says the advice that she found on YouTube felt like chatting with a friend. Her early pre-thumbnail era videos were how-tos, hauls, outfit of the days, the classics. Need a Valentine? She said, you're an ugly loser. In 2010, she made her second channel, a vlogging channel of course, The Grid Monster. The content was a lot more stripped down and personal. She would feature her then boyfriend at the time, Luke Connard. Gosh, this face is giving me flashbacks. It's like looking at a photo of the rapper Dev. Or was she a singer? It doesn't matter. By 2010, she was making videos that were letting people get to know her. 5 random facts about me. March favorites. Honey bunches of oats. Girl, you're crazy. From 2010 to 2014, her channel would consist of reviews, tutorials, how-to basics, Pretty Little Liars, and the Vampire Diaries inspired tutorials. Gosh, those shows had such a chokehold on the culture. I know that some of y'all watching used to wear your hair in loose curls because of these shows. Don't lie to me. I can't even judge though. That look was actually very cute. She was doing collabs. Joey Graceffa. Oh, he was at peak 2010's emo hair. The shorter his hair, the more his power decreased. He's like Samson. I think Ingrid was the one to start the Vlogmas trend, so you have her to thank or blame. By 2012, her videos just got like brighter. I mean, like literally. It seems that she just stopped recording in a closet. Foreshadowing. That hazy 2012 aesthetic reminds me of Hurricane Sandy. I knew Tyler Oakley would pop up. I mean, honestly, it was on my bingo sheet. She would still do insert month here favorites. DIY chocolate eggnog mask. Ingrid. Blackface. Airplane makeup plus travel. Just crop dust the people in first class. I do love that colored outlined thumbnail though. By 2014, her style became a bit more minimalist. She won a Streamy for Best Beauty Program and got a Teen Choice Award nomination for Choice Web Star Fashion/Beauty. That year, she collabed with CoverGirl as one of their glam ambassadors. Oh, what overpaid ad executive came up with that one? It was actually probably an unpaid intern. In which case, in 2015, Ingrid came out.
You are gay.
She then collabed with Hannah Hart, who was like the resident top lesbian of YouTube. The Ellen, if you will. Back when Ellen was in her sucking the virality out of memes to balance the internet ecosystem phase. Gosh, what a phenomenal tweet. I think they also dated. 2015 onward, her channel became less beauty and makeup related. She'd make videos about vagines, DIYs. It became even more minimalist. She'd even get a little bit more political. Man, remember that feminist t-shirt era of 2016? I'm restarting that trend. She even interviewed Obama? She vlogged about it on her second channel. Ingrid collabed with Do Something and You by Kotex for Power to the Period, which is like a nationwide period product drive, encouraging people to donate tampons, pads, panty liners to homeless shelters. And I gotta tell you, that is a product that a lot of people overlook when it comes to donating. They have to be unopened, of course. If not, that might actually be considered an act of domestic terrorism. By 2016, she stopped uploading on her second channel. In March of that same year, Ingrid was named one of the United Nations Change Ambassadors and was included in Super Soul 100, which is Oprah Winfrey's list of innovators and visionaries aligned on a mission to move humanity forward. That's not what Oprah sounds like, but I'm not even gonna try and do an impression of her. This was 2016, so I hope that Elizabeth Holmes was included in one of these lists. In 2017, she partnered with Bare Minerals, becoming the face of the Original and Matte foundations during their Be Your Best Self collection. By 2018, she was living in New York City full-time. Her videos got more intimate. She would sprinkle in confessional content. From 2018 to 2022, she would occasionally post breast cancer awareness videos in honor of her mother. She started stripping down her life, cutting back on spending and social media use, pushing back against certain beauty standards by not shaving. I did this for a while, actually. I wanted to be able to cornrow my armpit hair, beads and everything. You don't always get what you want. She also collabed with the Gateses like 3 times. I wonder if she asked Bill about his weird Epstein ties. In 2019, there was a girlfriend drop, Miss Erica Anderson. Is that a dog pillow? I'm gonna get one of those with my face on it. By 2020, her uploads really slowed down, and like most people of that OG YouTuber era, her views were stagnating, and she was burnt out. Plus, I'm assuming other events of 2020 did not help. That same year, she collabed with the New York Times and wrote the op-ed, "Does it really matter what I look like when no one is watching?" It was about her not wearing makeup during quarantine, saying that she no longer had the need or desire to perform for the external world. In June of 2020, she uploaded her final video, a goodbye. Ingrid knew that eventually she would have to end her YouTube and felt that by the time that she was in her 30s, she really was not going to be an influencer. She opened up about her mother, who worked for so many hours in the day that Ingrid barely got to see her growing up. Eventually, her mother was diagnosed with breast cancer and passed away, and Ingrid's father, who was older, soon after had a stroke and also passed away. So she's had to really take care of herself from a very early age, and now she felt as if she could finally move on and look back on her mother's sacrifices with more empathy. She expressed gratitude towards her followers for allowing her to have this career, but now she feels like she can just be herself, and this is an appropriate end to a chapter. The comments are very heartfelt. In 2021, she edited a portion of the description for this video where she stated that she and Erica had opened their own self-funded indie handcrafted candle studio, called The New Savant. That has truly got to be the most sapphic thing I've ever heard in my life, next to like opening an animal sanctuary. In 2023, she participated in an interview about influencing on Stay Tuned, where she said it was weird to share intimate moments with the world and be judged. And she was like, this just isn't good for me anymore. I'm not gonna do it. Let this be a lesson that you should not post your whole life online. That's why I rarely share anything about my real life. I might not even be black. She'll post occasionally on her Instagram. She's just plugging her small business and she seems content. MacBaby11, aka Alisha Marie. Her first upload was on June 14th, 2009, a What's in My Purse. Oh my gosh, she tagged people in the caption. Remember that? There is a giant gap between 2009 and 2012. A lot of these people were doing a scrub, and you know what? I get it. I mean, I know that she was deleting those boyfriend tag videos, and listen, I would too. She did react to some of her deleted videos years down the line. Her next available video, which is a room tour, is so 2012. The hot pink and zebra. Ugh, this is so chic. Her early videos were tutorials, hauls, Forever 21, of course. I got banned from the one at my Westfield mall. I'm just kidding. I wish I was that interesting. Her videos took a while to gain traction, but she was persistent. She was doing Miley Cyrus lookbooks. Ooh, I am not gonna lie, Miley's body be motivating me to go to the gym. And by gym, I mean the walking treadmill for the elderly, injured, and slothful that I purchased recently. These channels are such time capsules. The first video of hers to really gain traction was this DIY studded phone case. I had like a PTSD flashback looking at that studded cross. Alisha went, "Oh, y'all little Tumblrites are hungry, huh? Open wide." That is the tone I'm gonna be using with my future kids when I feed them. She was leaning into that Tumblr DIY trend, the morning routines. In 2012, she created her vlog channel, with her first video being this Breaking Dawn review blooper compilation. The vibe of this channel was a lot more laid back. By 2013, she was collabing with other YouTubers. By 2014, she noticed that the younger crowd seemed to be gobbling up these relatable school type videos, so she started doing that. The number of these 20-something-year-old YouTubers cosplaying as 14-year-olds, and the second the cameras are turned off, they just stare out into space. They catch a glimpse of their reflection in the mirror. The drawn-on freckles taunt them. They wipe them away aggressively, realizing that this is what their life has become. They need to have a support group. But then again, they were able to buy houses off of this gimmick, so I would have been doing the same thing. The pick monkey thumbnails are getting crisper though. Ooh, that HD resolution. From 2015 to 2017, she started incorporating more neon-ish thumbnails like DIYs, a lot of sketches, relatable content. I know My Life as Ava was giving her tips. Make no mistake about it though, this is how you become a juggernaut in the industry. These women understand the game and they know how to play it. Dang, 44 million. I'm gonna head to Staples real quick. Is the thumbnail of this one her accidentally her mom? Yeah, some of these kids' videos were quite raunchy. Gradually, as her content became more full-scale productions, she would show more behind-the-scenes content on her vlog channel, her prepping for the videos, featuring the girls that she was collabing with, etc. I knew that was Shane Dawson just from the agape mouth. From 2018 to 2022, her aesthetic and content also shifted towards more trendy videos. Concepts like switching lives with other YouTubers. The thumbnails got got more minimalist, less neon and ADHD-esque. She realized she was just growing up with her audience who, I mean, at this point would have been like college-aged. In 2018, she started the podcast Pretty Basic alongside Remy Ashton. Around 2019, she started posting about her fitness journey, how to look hot when you travel. To be a woman is to perform. This is why I always look like a Slavic green card wife in public 24/7. They have the only correct philosophy regarding womanhood. Her vlogs went from the very generic clickbaity thumbnails, Vlogmas of course, to becoming more stripped down and intimate. She just feels more grown up, like she be cooking, munching, spilling personal tea. This is what YouTube is really all about. Mental illness and refusing help. At least it is to me. By 2020, her views did gradually begin to decline. I mean, she was still doing well, but not the consistent viewership in the millions. But she seemed to be making content that was actually more in line with her adult life. She was trying to stay healthy. You know, there really was nothing like making an acai bowl as you saw that COVID death ticker go up. That same year, she uploaded a Truth or Drink with Mia Sayoko, who she had a falling out with in 2018. This was just due to a lack of proper communication and small things building up and then just blowing up in their faces. And they mean that figuratively, but I like to imagine that they were like building pipe or something and one of them messed up. Wouldn't that be such a gag if one of these YouTubers fully turned into like a Ted Krasinski type? I know he wasn't building pipe, okay? He was like writing newsletters or whatever, which is, by the way, an unpaid writer. That's more undignified than being a domestic terrorist. Regardless, they made up and now they're on good terms. In 2021, she launched Parallel Apparel along with her sister, #sexyasis. It's an activewear and loungewear line, and they chose that name as a nod to how her and her sister had very different styles that were still somehow complementary. In 2022, she started her Almost 30 series, which documented her getting her ish together before hitting the big 3-0. I don't know why people act like 30 is 60 years old. You're still relatively young. This was also a post-breakup series. She was changing up her hair, getting out of her depression slump, living alone for the first time, by roommates. She even vlogged their tearful and forceful evictions. It was sponsored by BetterHelp. I'm just kidding. It was NordVPN. By 2022, her room had reached the final zenith of minimalism. All white, minimal decor. You can really see the shift in her personal aesthetic by comparing the difference in her room tours from 2010 to 2017. She is shedding yet another aesthetic skin, like a chic snake. Alisha got open about how obsessive her healthy eating patterns became, especially in the early 2010s. Oh, I remember that Tumblr thinspiration era. Not much has changed, to be honest. Living in that LA influencer bubble, it is almost inevitable that she will develop orthorexia. As she was getting older, though, she realized that what she was doing was actually very damaging, and she adjusted her lifestyle. She still kicks it with Lauren, Mia, Remy, obviously. She is living it up. Oh, I can smell the disposable income. She still uploads consistently on her vlog channel and is still pulling in hundreds of thousands of views. They are more mature vlogs, though. She'd be shopping, getting flued out. To Dubai, Alisha has spoken pretty openly about her streams of income. She says that she does consulting and digital media management as well as content creation. In 2023, she had a viral catfish passport moment. This actually happened to me once. Alisha did receive some backlash for collabing with Temu at the time as a result of their pretty atrocious track record. Taylor King, her videographer and producer, who would get featured on Alisha's channel, she quit, but despite the clickbait, there was actually no beef between them. Taylor just wanted to move on and be a creator. By 2023, Alisha paused Parallel Apparel indefinitely. She talked about how difficult it is to make clothes in LA, but also, even though the products were selling, the business expenses just made the entire venture not profitable. Plus, they didn't have like big mystery shadow financiers. They were funding everything themselves. And the stress of it was just making Alisha lose her mind. Her uploads have gotten less frequent on her main channel, but she's still posting. It's a mix of confessional Q&As, trendy content, trying out viral products, etc. She didn't completely pivot. Imagine if she had become like a female Alex Jones. In 2024, Pretty Basic and Unfiltered with Zayn Hijazi and Heath Hussar did a crossover podcast, Basically Unfiltered. Now, Zayn and Heath have gotten some backlash over the years because a lot of their very early content featured them doing, you know, what you could consider sort of like caricatures of black women, which, you know, unfortunately was a pretty ubiquitous trend on Vine. Also, mentioned in my previous video that covered Remy Ashton, Alisha does still hang out with people like David Dobrik, so some of her fans were not comfortable supporting her after these associations. She still does upload semi-consistently on her Instagram. She is still also posting on her TikTok. These are basically like little snapshots from her longer vlogs. Dang, her passport is stamped. Now finally, we have FreddyMyLove, aka Freddy Cousin Brown. Her first upload, Winter Primark Haul 2014, was uploaded on December 24th, 2014.
Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is my first video, so I thought what better to start off with than a Primark haul.
The loud iMovie music. Goodness, if I had a nickel. This aesthetic was such a mood at the time. Very Chanel Oberlin and Scream Queens. Did I actually buy any of the clothes that she had? No. I had crippling body dysmorphia. Her early videos were the standard, makeup advice / fashion related content. She started making YouTube videos after graduating from Sylvia Young's theater school. She's a dancer and model, Avi. She is quite posh. It's oddly refreshing, like mint julep in a lemonade. Her vibe is very pink, girly, soft, hazy. Her videos just feel like drinking sugar-free hot cocoa in warm knee-high socks while looking out at a rainy afternoon and a little reading nook because your family values education but also has disposable income. This light pink heart was a staple in her thumbnails. She would occasionally do covers, like one for that Meghan Trainor and Charlie Pluth song, Let's Marvin Gaye and Get It On. There's something sickly sweet about that song title. Freddy is very Disney princess coded. Oh, I remember those pastel item holders with random Paris motifs. Sweather Weather was top of the charts. I hate saying that song title out loud. It makes me feel like I have a speech impediment. What a time to be alive. Her room tours were her most popular series. The decor did gradually get more white and shiny. Soon she'll just be living inside of a light bulb or like a white sensory deprivation tank. In 2015, she of course did a Chanel Oberlin inspired Halloween costume tutorial. She was never the most popular beauty YouTuber, but her aesthetic was so particular and consistent. Her content did not change much from 2014 to 2020. She would be great as a propagandist in a dystopian world, like a pastel Effie trinket. I'd listen to her. Betty Cooper look. Oh, Riverdale.
That you have the MAOA and the CDH13 genes,
also known as
the serial killer genes.
Her little sister Coco, who also had her own channel, would occasionally make an appearance in Freddy's videos. Her content to this day is still very much the same. Not evolving online can be the death for many people's pages, but she's still getting views. But she does do more travel vlogs. She created a dedicated Instagram page to her home decor, the never-ending process of making a house a home. She did diversify her content a little bit, buying things advertised on social media, dressing as a different Gossip Girl character every day of the week. She dropped her BFJJ, dropped as in like a product, not like broke up with him. They'd been dating since 2015. I mean, they'd known each other since they were 11. Since Freddy found her style aesthetic pretty early on, she didn't evolve fashion-wise as much as the other YouTubers, but I think that just speaks to her style being so timeless. And when your audience is slightly older, you're not forced to shift your content as aggressively. That's a great thing about the semi-bougie aesthetic, is that you can be 18 or 80 and rock a nice pastel dress that fits you well with some cute accessories. Freddy is a huge Charlotte Tilbury fan, which does make sense. I like Miss Tilbury, but not just because her last name is so whimsical and her products look nice, but because she seems like the fun wine aunt who would never snitch on you. In 2022, she dropped this video and everyone was obviously like, oh my gosh, you're pregnant. But she just got a kitten named Cinderella. Could you imagine if she got like a pit bull named her Daisy? In 2022, she launched her clothing line, Flossy by Freddy, which went on to include a Queen Bee collection, which was inspired by Blair Waldorf. She then went on to release the Act 1, Socialite, and Mademoiselle collections. She still posts regularly on her Instagram. She's still getting sponsors. Heck yeah, still looking chic. She used to have a blog, FreddyMyLove.co.uk, but it's no longer up. She, in typical fashion, was posting a lot of those, like, in memory of the queen style content on her Twitter. Look, the posh have their royalties. She's got a Depop, and I know that she makes a killing on there. In 2023, she revealed that she just wasn't as excited about YouTube. She felt like too much of her worth was tied to the channel, and that wasn't healthy. Obviously, She's nearly a decade into this channel, and now that she has her own business, I can understand her priorities naturally shifting. She will still post, you know, some vlog content and things that are similar on her main channel, but she's clearly leaning into more of her business. The clothes do look hella cute though. I'm glad that she was able to transform her passion into an actual successful business. In 2024, JJ and her moved in together and they're still going strong. She is honestly very drama-free and private. She minds her business, files her nails, and smells good. Good for you, Freddy. That's it for this video. Let me know down below who you used to watch back in the day. If they're beauty or lifestyle related, it doesn't even matter. Were they a Minecraft YouTuber that has some pretty serious allegations against them now? Let me know. Who would you like to be featured in a potential next installment? I don't know how many of these I can make, honestly. But my next video will be about the click. Yeah, that's right. Your girl is reading again, and it is genuinely concerning how bad my attention span has become. I'm not gonna lie, the Venus Angelic portion of this video went places I did not expect. Thank you for watching. Shout out to my top patrons. If you would like to donate to my Patreon, then click on the link that is on screen or in the description down below. Thank you to my other lovely patrons. Your name should be scrolling on screen as I speak. If you want weekly content, I have 3 years of back catalog on my Patreon. I'm trying to up the production value a little bit on those things using my green screen. It's incredible the things that I do for you people. Bye.